Hello again, and today it is another Batman board game. This time it's the one more closely resembling the comic books. It's also by Mattel and DC, of course, and it also has all these different languages in the front. This is Gotham City Mystery, and again you got this little cut hole where you see the four main figures, which is kind of like the theme of these, like the last board game. It's got this nice sort of purple, nice drawing on the front, semi-realistic drawing, and you got the picture of the minion. So on the side you get a picture of the board itself, really tiny picture which is kind of hard to see, and then you have this picture which is more in line of not Jim Lee's style, but kind of more cartoony, and the cover is more realistic, so it's kind of a bit different there. Same again here, you got the Batman logo, same on the other side, ages 7 and up, and 2 to 5 players again, and same on the other side. On the back you got a picture of 4 kids playing board games so happily. You got this picture of the sort of bat computer, and you got a silhouette of all these different villains which aren't really in the game, they're just cards. It says here, analyze the clues with the bat computer, review the villain to win, play the role of Batman, Robin, Nightwing or Batgirl, or play the role of one of Batman's arch enemies to defeat the Dark Knight. You can picture Joker, Catwoman, Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, Ra's al Ghul, Penguin, Riddler, Harley Quinn, Scarecrow, and Two-Face. So the most popular rogue gallery. Got some basic information down there, warnings and nothing interesting. So open the game up, and there it is. First bad thing is, this game, doesn't matter how much you tidy it, if you shake it, or if you even move it slightly, this happens. Everything's a complete mess, and these cards, you look at them, it takes you a while to see what the matches, because quite a lot of these things look quite similar. There's pictures of the map, and there's a little colour on the top. That doesn't help, because some of the colours look very similar. It's a light purple and a dark purple. So that's the first bad thing of this board, this box, is that it's a bloody mess. Let's see what you get inside. First you have this dice. It's sort of black and yellow, sort of the main colour schemes of Batman, which fits the theme. It's a dice. And then you have 5 minion pieces. Oh, getting focused. These minions are just little black, sort of tight wearing bodies, and because of that, there's hardly any detail on them whatsoever. On each minion you have this little number, which is really hard to see when you're playing the board game. You have to pick them up and look, oh yeah, this is number 5. A sticker would have been good, so that's another complaint of this board game. It's just so hard to tell, and you need to tell which minion you're controlling, because each minion is probably carrying a different item. So, it's best if you just paint the number white so you can see which minion you're controlling. That's the second complaint there. Now let's look at Batwoman first. There she is. The colour's right. The little bat logo's right. It's the details are kind of there. There's a little stitching on where her mask is. It's okay. It looks like her. So that's the job done, I guess. Next is Nightwing. Again, not too much in the molding, it's more about what's painted on it, and his mask is painted okay, it doesn't look stupid or anything, so he looks okay. That stick is really nice and blue. His back's painted as well, so he looks okay. Robin looks something a bit wrong with his face mask. But the rest of the paint seems okay. The logo's there, the R's there. His cape is painted yellow inside, but just something wrong with his face. Not too much in the molding again. And finally you got Batman, who looks a bit retarded, but he's sort of that grey colour with the black logo, big bright yellow belt. His cape's molded okay, he's got little bat ears, quite pointy. And so overall these little figures, they're not as good as the Batman Begins one. They they're not bad, but I expected something a bit more. Especially when you get less figures with this thing, you'd think that the figures will look nicer, but no, they're smaller and they're less detailed. After you set the board up and sort out those cards for the billionth time, there's some things that you probably want to look at. First I want to talk about the hero cards, which are right here. And the rules say that you only use these cards once. After they've been used, they're gone. And these cards are divided amongst all 4 players. And this is what you get. You got 2 of these Batmobile cards, which allows one player to move in a straight line until they reach a minion, as much as they want. So, for example, they'll go down this street, carry on going. Next you got this Batman card. You got 3 of these. And this card allows you to double your row. And then you have 2 Gotham police badges, which sticks a minion in the police station for 1 turn. And finally you have this last one, which allows you to go to any building you want. So that's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 2 cards for each player pretty much. And it forces you to think strategically throughout the game, which again can be quite biased towards the villain. But let me tell you one thing, this game is definitely not biased towards the villain, and I'll tell you why later. It's a game-breaking part of the game. Next you have the villain cards. The villain can use all of these because there's only 1 villain. And again, once it's been used, it's gone. You got one of these. It's like take it or leave it. You either want your first dice roll or you want the second one, and you can't go back. Once you roll the second dice, that's that. And that's what that card does. Second, you got 2 of these Robin cards. This places any hero in Crime Alley until another hero goes there and stays there for a turn. And then you have 2 jetpack ones, which moves twice your row. You got 2 of these ones, sort of gas pellets, which means once your hero captures your villain, your little henchman, they don't know what item you're carrying. And finally you have 2 of these little microphones. Basically these cards allow you to send 1 hero to any building of your choice. And then you have the villain cards. Basically you have the name, portrait and all the items you need and the colours where you need to get them from. The colours, you can see them on the board, tells you the entrance of the building. The minion can go in there, that's 1 space, and pick up something from that building. Catwoman, the Penguin, Joker, Mr. Freeze, Ra's al Ghul, Poison Ivy, Two-Face, Riddler, Scarecrow. I mean, all the artwork on these are quite nice on the little portraits. And if you enter a building without an item you want, you can pick up a dud card, which means when the hero catches you, it'll be empty, and they can't use it against you. These right here are the building cards. They all fit in this little tray here, which again will go all messy as soon as you pack this away and kind and shake it. So each building has a corresponding colour, makes it slightly easier, and each building has 3 pieces of card. 2 of them are item cards and 1 is always an empty box, which you can use it to trick the hero. And each menu has a number, and on this box here you have 5 numbered sockets, and you place these cards in there to say, okay, I picked up that item, and okay, I've gone into that building and picked up that item as well, an empty box. And if the hero catches you, you follow the number and tell them what card they've got. And once you get one of these cards, they go in the Bat computer. The famous Bat computer. It's got a nice Batman logo molded into the plastic. And over here you have all the villains and the little lines. And what it is, you stick these cards in, and that shows that the villain can only be Penguin, Poison Ivy, Catwoman, or Scarecrow. So eventually, the more you get, the more chances you're going to find out who it is. Basically, the Batman heroes win by you have to catch at least 1 of the minions and find 1 card first. So you go along. As soon as you touch a minion, you capture him, and you take what's inside this box. And then you slot in the card here. And so you find out who the villain is. If you guess wrong, you lose instantly. Everyone loses. If you're the hero side, you lose. It doesn't matter if Robin guessed or Nightwing guessed. You lose. And the rules are not clear what happens to the minion after you capture them. Do they go to the prison? Are they off the board? Well, after a few times of playing, they definitely can't capture them permanently, because then the villain can't play and you can't fill in these gaps. So meaning that the minions must come back. So where do they come back? Do they decide to come back in here, the side of the map, where they usually come back in after taking the item? Or do they start off in the jail? It doesn't say. So the rules aren't clear. That's up to you to decide. The rules also aren't clear on if these sewer colours mean anything. Because these sewers act in a way that it says all the minions start on red sewers, okay? And also says that a minion can use the sewers to access any other sewer as one space. So if I roll a 2, I can go 1, 2. But it's different color coded, and my friend thought it'll make more sense if you go in the yellow sewer, you can only come out of the yellow sewer. But no, it doesn't say that. So again, it's up to you. It doesn't make that clear. So, all these things doesn't make clear, but, some things it does make clear. Apparently, it doesn't matter which way you sit, Batman always goes first. I say go clockwise and ignore that. So, when it decides not to be clear and something that it gets a bit clearer, it's like, get your priorities right. Tell us where the captured people go. It doesn't say anywhere on the manual. Maybe it's on different languages, but on the English one, it doesn't say anything. So, unclear instructions, that's another negative side of this board game. Here's the next thing about the items. Basically, the villain wins when they've captured all 10 of their items, or if the heroes guess wrong. Another thing is the heroes win by guessing the right villain. Now, here's the problem of the game which breaks everything. First of all, first a small issue. You got these 10 cards, but there's not enough slots, so that's fine. You're using the back computer, aren't you? So you change them around and have a guess and see what they are. But here's the problem. Look at this. If I can just zoom in there. Look who the villain is. It's a bit obvious, isn't it? If you just so happen to get these 2 items caught in the first round, then that's that, isn't it? It's obviously Catwoman, because it can't be anyone else. And game's over. Before you start playing or start enjoying yourself, game's over. This has happened more than once. Okay, maybe one of these cards tell you instantly what the villain would be, but if that happens... I wonder who the villain is. So it's not just Catwoman, Two-Face, Scarecrow, and all of them. All of them have items which will tell you instantly who the villain is. So you might be saying, oh well, it's a bit hard to find all different yellow spots for 10 items. Well, then they'll make them get 10 items. The fact that you have to get 10 items takes really long to play anyway. So why don't you shrink it down to 5 items? Or 6. Yeah, so, the last few rules about the game is that even if the minion gets captured and shown on the back computer, somehow the minion still keeps, the item is considered taken, which doesn't really make sense, but fine, there needs to be a way around it. The hero and villain cards get used up really quickly, the item cards, because everyone wants to do at the start. That's the player's fault, but it's something that you need to take note of. Because strategically you wait for a while and use the cards at the best moment, but that doesn't always happen. You're always trying to use them instantly, the best way possible, and then trying to get as many items to stop the villain from getting away from as many items as possible. So... overall, this board game, if you're a huge Batman fan, maybe, but the figures, they aren't anything special. The rules, they're not clear. Game-breaking moments like this. The board looks okay, I guess. It's so yeah. For the same amount of money, I say get the Batman Begins board game, which is about £7. I won't really recommend it to any casual board game player. Some people say, oh, this Cluedo is kind of like Cluedo, isn't it? I never played Cluedo, but if it's similar, I'd say play Cluedo, because that's the famous one. It's been around for so long. And this, have it around. It might be a little bit fun to. If you have it around, it might be a little bit fun to mess around with it. Otherwise, I wouldn't bother. This is like some half-ass put together board game. So as much as I like Batman, I wouldn't really recommend it. So have a look at my website, eBay site, shopping site. It's all in the description below, and tell me what you think. Maybe you have more enjoyment of this board game than me. Have a nice day, and it's nearly Christmas, so Merry Christmas. If that's not your thing, Happy Hanukkah, season greetings and whatnot. See you tomorrow.